unmute it and see if it's actually recording. Sorry about breathing under the mic if you can hear that. Unmute it and see if it's actually recording. Interesting. Give me a second. Oh, right. I need to change my default playback from my speaker. Okay. Huh, weird. Shutting off the speakers, my surround speakers. Well, not really surround speakers. They're just like jury-rigged speakers. Turned off the speakers in my headset for some reason. Anyway, it seems like everything's back. Let me go ahead and... Okay, so everything seems to be playing correctly. I've muted it, and we're now on track. So after all the Windows 10 upgrades and all the computer problems over the past week, I think everything's finally back to normal, and we can just get back to work. So, hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson. It is February 2nd, and the year's already flying by, and this is the February 2nd TextQuest dev stream. So, it's Tuesday, so we're going to be doing texturing. Mostly we're going to be covering making substances for, assuming that we don't have bad lag, we're going to be covering making substances for the Canyon level again. We might get into some UV layouts, because this level is actually one of the first levels that I ever built, and it shows in both the way the modeling was done in it and the way that the UVs are kind of sloppy. Although maybe nope, I didn't. Yep. So you can see stuff like here where we have a uneven break because I didn't pay attention to the correct end when I was lining these up. So you can see down here I was just using like Canyon, and that works. It makes sense and it looks right. And if you zoom up, you're like, oh wait, no, that's wrong. That's not even close to being right. So, rookie mistake made by a very, very rookie me. And I like to think that I've come a long way since then. So we might do some UV layouts tonight just to make sure that the textures all line up properly. But aside from that, we'll be expanding on the stuff that we've already done. So we will be, I need to get rid of that. Making more substance textures. I've already started and created a river texture. Uses a bit of a warp distortion effect to get that nice little ripple in there. And I'll be going over some newer substance effects or substance techniques. Can't talk tonight. It's been a week and I've just forgotten how to speak. Yeah, we'll just basically be going over a bunch of substance stuff. And we will also take a look at skyboxes, just because I would like to see if I can get a good skybox for this aesthetic. I don't know if it's possible, honestly. I would be quite surprised if we could get something that looked even remotely good. But, you know, it's always worth experimenting. So, without any further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into texturing. So, this is the current substance that I'm using for the river. I just made this before the stream. I'm going to try to make an effort to use substances built-in nodes a lot more in the future. So before, if you remember, my workflow was basically, you know, just bring in a texture, bring in any maps that I had, and then I would just basically hook those up and that'd be it. Maybe use the masks to make some noise for our normal map. Oh, excuse me. But I think I'm going to try to make a much more interesting effort to use these extra nodes that Substance has to get more interesting normal maps, or maybe get more interesting roughness or metallic maps. We'll see what I end up doing with that. Just because it's something that I think is the more interesting parts of Substance, and I haven't really been leveraging that very well, I think, in my textures. So for the water effect, just this river, it's a fairly basic texture. It's one that I had already made in Photoshop, so I just had to port it over, which meant that lining everything up was really nice and easy. But for the actual distortion, I used a liquid effect, which is this, you know, sort of nice overlay effect. I applied some directional warp to make it stretch out like it's moving. And then, of course, I rotated it so that the directional warp was matching up with our river, because we want it to go up and down, since that's the way our texture is going. And that became our normal map, which, interesting. Our normal map looks like it's not reflecting our transformation. That's curious. So transformation 2D node in Substance just rotates a texture. And you can do other stuff like tiling and offsets. But all I did was a 90-degree clockwise rotation. But if we look at it really closely, you can see that it's not really doing that. I'm going to blow this up a little bit and zoom in a bit. So you can see that we're getting these horizontal streaks, like right over here. We have 3 horizontal streaks. And if I go back here, oh, that does seem to be right. Huh. Our normal maps must be picking up. Oh wait, no, that's the original directional warp. Has those 3. But with our transformation 2D node, you see they should be down here. So that's interesting. Our normal map is not. I bet it's not hooked up. No, okay. So I hate it when I do that. That's one of the problems that I have with perfectly straight lines like that. So I didn't even realize it, but this node was actually connected to my normal map, and my transformation 2D was doing nothing. It was just an extraneous node. So I need to make sure that that's hooked up properly. So with that, our normal map is actually facing the right way, which is good because now everything looks straight. I was wondering about that because I looked at it in Unity. I'm like, this looks a little bit off because if we look at it, and I've already baked the light map again for this area, so we actually have some nice shadows again, and the new Enlighten engine actually made everything look a lot nicer than the original light map builds, like way back when Beast was still being used in 4-point ancient times. So you can see, I'm going to go ahead and select off of this and select our Canyon River. I made some sliders for this. So warp intensity is sort of the effect that's going to give us what we want. I'm going to go ahead and slide up our normal intensity so you can see this a little bit easier. So warp intensity by default was set to 10. So 10. Then I slid this up to 16, but you can see that it looks like it's going the wrong way, and that's because it was. Because it looks like it's sort of spreading across horizontally across up and down on the actual words as opposed to side. So with this new updated version, things should actually be in the correct spot and the correct direction. So that's always fun. I didn't expect to have to make a change that soon. Yeah, replace files in the destination. All right, so now if we look at this, let's set our. I will do 3 for our normal intensity, just so that it's really, really intense. So now you can see that movement basically going left and right as opposed to up and down. So I'm going to default this back to 10, I think. That's not bad. I might want to... I think 10's good. Because it breaks it up just enough that it's not going to be bad. It also helps that my normal map is actually going to be set to like 0.5 intensity, so it's just this very, very subtle effect. It's nothing too terrible. But let's take a look at this in motion. I don't know if I'm going to play or not, if I have to drag a hero in. I probably do, yeah. Alright, so let's go text quest, prefabs, player, hero. Probably going to snap load the scene. Let's see. Oh, good. I don't snap below the scene, I just snap above everything. So, this is what everything looks like. Ooh, I think I need to slow that river down. It's kind of moving pretty fast. I'm going to pause. Just move my guy over this way. Guy down here. Alright. So it's moving pretty fast, which makes it a little hard to see. And I'm actually surprised. I made... The object should be perfectly smooth, but it doesn't look like it's reflecting any light. And I'm wondering if that's because reflections on light sources might not work with baking. It might only work with a real-time light. But yeah, it's also moving like super fast. I need to slow that down, I think. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause that. Let's turn our main light off. Let's turn on... duplicate this. Just going to move this down here so that I can spawn at the bottom. Not have to worry about it. Go ahead and just make that castle entrance. That way it's the lowest one, so it'll default to that whenever we spawn in. And I'm going to go ahead and slow down this Canyon River scrolling. Set it scrollable, and let's set it to 0.5. Alright. It's a little bit more interesting. You can actually read it at least. The waterfall... I think the reason I had it going so fast was so that it would match up with the speed of the waterfall, but that doesn't necessarily make sense. So, hello, Cakes and Cocaine. Welcome to the Text Quest F stream. Oh, I gotta turn down that footstep crunch. That's really bad with headphones. Because this sound isn't that bad, but it's very short and subtle. But good God, the sound of dirt just crunches so bad. And I don't actually have water footsteps yet. I think I was just using carpet sound effects for the time being. Anyway, so that's the river substance. It's not perfect. It's pretty good. I like it. And the normal map is subtle enough that it's not actually really doing much besides breaking up the surface, which is what I wanted. I think... I think we'll leave it for now. I think that works. I would like to do... Oh, yeah. Let me pull in a lantern. I'm just going to equip it and see what happens with the lighting. I'm curious if it will actually reflect any light from the lantern, since it's set to be a smooth object. Oh, what the heck? Where's the lantern? Oh, it's probably up at the top. Oh, no, it's over there. That's... Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. It's in the ground. Alright, so it's... Oh, good. It has a null reference already. What's a null reference? Interesting. Oh, I bet I know why. Ah, freaking environment. Ugh. That's fine for now. I love having errors from old code that needs to be updated. So let's see if I can take this. Nope, it's going to break my entire UI. Ah! Great. So, well, then I guess nuts to this. Set that to be 0. Don't have any toggles. Cool. So now if I play, it shouldn't have those null references. Oh no, it does. Cool. That means that there's something else going on. Cave's entrance. Huh, that's curious. It must have a... Well, of course I can't even enable it or disable it. That's terrible. You remember watching me when I first started? I think I remember you watching me when I first started. I remembered the name. Is that a good or a bad thing? Are you saying that it looks better than before, or it looks worse than before? Or it looks about the same, I suppose. So I wonder... If I set that to 0. Will that work? Great. It's probably in the code then. I didn't want to do that, but... I didn't want to do any code editing, but because it breaks everything if I play, then I have to. So... Oh, we could set up ambient audio, or volumetric audio for the river, too. No. That's not tonight. We'll do that Thursday. It was when I had one room. Well, actually, technically, to be fair, what the freak? So this error is probably just because it's returning nothing. Great. Isn't that great? Well, discovery trigger. Oh, I know why. Okay. So we have triggers here. I'm just going to go ahead and turn those off. To be fair, actually, this level was done before I started streaming. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! How many null reference crap objects do I have in here? Screw it. Oh my god. That is amazing. I have so many terrible things going on, apparently, when I did this. Just, ugh. Get rid of it. I'll re-script all that crap later. And I just made the dagger? Okay. Okay. Give me a second. Wow. Just, my entire session is broken, apparently. So I can't pick up crap. Okay, good. So we don't get a light to test. Or, you know, I could have just sidestepped all of this trouble and had a regular light in the scene just to test. But yeah, this level was made before I started streaming. It's a little hard to tell. Let me put it in the dark. Because I actually had the overworld done before I started streaming. The stream just covered my creation of the introduction area, and it doesn't look like it's really that smooth or that rough. Curious. So technically this is all actually really, really old stuff made before anyone else saw my streams. And now I'm going back and updating everything, which is why there was like 10 broken scripts just now, because they're all obsolete and don't use the new system. So we're not going to fix those programming errors on the stream tonight because it's Tuesday. So I'm going to focus on the texturing part. So we're going to go ahead and let's try to make, let's see. I bet I could make the torch stuff just fine. I don't think I'm going to atlas it with anything. It's probably going to be its own thing. Alright, so let's go to Illustrator. Make a new object. Call it torch. Alright. Let's see. We're going to Canyon. Do I have my torch? Oh wow, I did a lot of stuff. We can do the Cave Shrine. That'll be a fun one to do. It should have a lot of substance effects on it, so that's going to be really, really cool. So I'm just going to rename this then. Let's go back to Environment, Overworld, Canyon, just so that I have everything here. We'll drag and drop, stretch this out, and hit Enter, or hit Cancel. And then I'm going to lock it. But yeah, since then, it's been a while since you've watched a stream. We finished the level design portion of the intro area. So we have both the castle and the sewer underneath it finished up. So I'm gonna go. What did I call this? It wasn't the torch. It was stairs. No, Canyon Shrine. Canyon Shrine. Put space in there. Save this out as Canyon Shrine. And we have added a combat system. What else have we done? Done work on a whole new level. As in a level that wasn't in the intro area. Or one that I hadn't already made. And that was the Magma River. That would be a text. I should mute my phone. So a lot of stuff, actually, since that first stream, which was like, oh man, August, I think. It was a long time ago. Text. Alright, so, this is going to be interesting. So I remember when I made this texture, and I'm going to have to stick to this texture format pretty rigorously. When I made this, I had to be very careful with my UVs because I stuck a lot of stuff on here to alleviate draw calls. So this is the steps, this area over here. This is the grate below the shrine entrance. So if we go over here. So we have the shrine center up here, which if we look at it, is this. And then we have the individual steps below, which would be these objects. And they have them on the sides, ascending and descending. We have the sides, I believe. Actually, no, I bet the sides were probably a separate thing entirely. Yep, they were. Okay. We have the actual shrine proper, which I was not happy with, actually. I might change how we do that. And then we have grates, which apparently can't be seen because they're beneath the water. Okay. Well, it's useless anyway. Might as well not have that actually there. We can use that to spruce up something else. So. This will be fun. Let's go back to Illustrator. What could I use for that space? I bet I could probably just have two grates here, and that makes it a little bit more obvious that it's a grate. In any case, so let's go to our background. Hit M. Let's get rid of our fill stroke, and go down here, hold Shift, and drag out to 512 by 512. All right. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and drag it. Hit I, select that color, drag it back down there, then lock it, make it invisible. All right, I'm going to go back here. Anchor. It's going to be 512 by 256. Cool. We're going to select our color, make it pure white, since it's an alpha background. And then, don't worry about it. Lock it, make it invisible. And our last one is going to be this brownish color. And it is going to have 512 by 1084 and 256. Nice. So that is our background. I'm going to go ahead and lock it and disable it. I'm going to zoom in, make sure that that seam isn't actually there, and it's not. Zoom into 100%. I'm going to disable that. How have you been, by the way? I don't want to be rude. So let's go to text. Let's make a sublayer. We're going to call this Shrine Center. And this is going to be fun because we're going to have a bunch of individual letters. Make it 72 probably. Make sure that there's no anti-aliasing. And then we're just going to start typing because we're going to make it black. It always does. Let's see. Rotate this. Move it over here. Change its size to be 120. Is that correct? Boom. Right on the money. 120. And now we get to do basically the same thing for all of the other letters. Center. Man. Forgot how tedious this was the first time I ever had to do this. I'm actually glad that this is one of the textures that I already had done ahead of time. Because it would not be fun to see me trying to sort of get this all figured out. And be like, oh, well, I got to nudge positioning and figure out where this goes, and then this goes here, and then we make a slight adjustment here. I mean, I personally enjoy doing that, but it cannot possibly be that fun for you guys to watch. Alright, let's move that over there. And there we go. So now, that is lined up. And we're going to select all of that, hit I, and select this color. And bam. Now it's the same color. Everything matches. So there's Shrine Center. I'm going to go ahead and make a sub-object here. Make that center. Get this going up there. Make a new object here. Call it Shrine. And we'll just start typing. Oops, not G. We want H. R. I, N, and E. Fun. Alright, so let's just drag everything in place. That works. That works. That works. I want to make sure that I get it as close as possible to the original. Just because, again, everything is already UV'd, fortunately, so that means that we don't need to do much. As long as we just update the texture, everything will just line up. There might be some nudging that needs to happen, some fine-tuning, just to get appropriate positioning, but on the whole, it's not nearly as bad as if we had nothing. So I'm going to select them all again, hit I, pick that color, then bam. There's our Shrine Center. Done and done. So let's get a new one. I'm going to call this Steps. Oh, this one was fun. I had to get the step working because our shape is a angle. I actually have to taper off. So, interesting. Why is that? Oh no, that's right. It's not because. Ha! I remember now. So you'll notice that this is backwards from what it looks like in Unity. So it looks like the S is small and then the P is large. And that's because I actually did that on purpose to counteract the tapering off. So our step actually goes at an angle like this, where the point of the angle is near the S. But by making it look like this, it actually acts as like a counterbalance to make the letters all look roughly the same. You can see that it didn't quite work because of the extreme angle of the S. But it ends up actually looking pretty good in game. So the P is obviously larger than everything else, but it's much closer than what it would be if I didn't taper things off like that in reverse. So let's go back to Illustrator. And I forgot about that. It's fun going back to see old textures. It's not like old code, because old textures had, fairly rigorous thought put into it as opposed to code, which was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go to 96. Correct? Boom, 96, like right on the money. All right. Go one more down. That's fine. All right, we got an E, which is probably 72. Man. Yeah, I'm getting it tonight. Let's go to P. That one, I'm not entirely sure. That's 60 or 48. That's just 60. Nice. All right. That's that. And once again, actually, I'm going to make a sub-object, call it step. Grab all of these, drag it in here, select them all, hit I, and then bam. Now, for that one, it was important that I didn't select these colors up here, because if you select colors from a text object, it'll format your current text that you're trying to adjust the color on to match whatever you took a sample from. So all of my T, E, and P would have scaled up to match S probably. Don't know why Illustrator does that, but it does, and it's frustrating. Anyway, so there's step. We're going to have descending. And later on we'll have ascending. So we're just going to go ahead and pick this. Descending. And those are probably 72, I'm guessing. Yep. And we will need negative 100. Yep, that looks about right for our spacing. Okay, again, I'm just going to pick this. Alright, so this is a really nice, easy one to do, fortunately. Ascending. We're just going to have to position it properly. Oh, interesting. Ascending. Oh, it's because it's shorter. So I actually probably made that 75. Yep. This is... dang it. Give me a second. There we go. Alright. So now, if we toggle on our background real quick, we'll see some tiny shifting just because of the way that text is different in Illustrator than from Photoshop. But everything seems to be roughly where it's supposed to be, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and lock steps next. We'll move on to Great. Great. I'm going to go ahead and select it, press T, at 120 at least. It's probably actually larger than that even. Yep, it is larger than that. It is much larger than that. 150. Ooh, 150 looks about right actually. And I bet negative 100. Yep. Bam! On fire! I'm going to pick this. Great. And then I'm going to go ahead and say 120. Alright. Then this is going to be fun because I obviously can't grab the text behind it. So I'm going to hit I, select that. I'm going to go ahead and move back and position right about here. So again, if I turn on my background, it'll make it look a little bit nicer. I'll be able to see where everything is. So the last thing I have to do is my actual shrine proper text. So we're going to say shrine. And once I get that done, we're going to do some quick mask work, and then I will have a fun time in Substance Designer, because this is going to have a lot of different noise effects on it to make everything look nice and different. And actually, Great. We might end up changing that color. I'm not crazy about that color, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll save that. So the last thing I got to do is shrine. We're just going to say shrine. All right. Let's select it. 72. I'm guessing. No, too small for that. This is probably 120. Ah, no, it's an awkward size. Great. 96. Most yep, 96. Nice. Select that. Let's just lock that down. Let's start typing again. Shrine. Let's go ahead and select our color. And I'm guessing 60 then. Although, Alright. So, that seems fine if I turn everything on. Ta-da! So let's turn these layers off from their lock. Let's save that out. Lock the base layer. And hit save. Delete our linked file. If it'll let me. Of course it won't let me do it easily. Delete. Alright. So next we're going to duplicate. Make some normals. So our normal map. Turn this off. Get rid of the copies, because it drives me insane to have copy. What did I call it? Shrine Center. Alright. So, ooh, that's no good. Let's go back to our, let's turn that invisible. And we're going to go back to base, our background, and select our initial one. It looks like I didn't get it slid over all the way, which is not good, but looks like that's the only thing that was off. Okay. So let's lock that back. Close that. Set it up to lock again. Let's make this visible again. Oh, sorry. At the top. Cool. And that's a train. So, now, how do I want to handle this? It's stone, which means it's chiseled inwards. So our actual grate isn't going to have any normal features attached to it. It's basically fine on its own, which means that we're going to want to make normal information for our text here, 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 along the steps and along the center. So, let's see. I'm going to select these guys. We're going to make this white. Hit OK. I'm going to that. It's already white. Good. Select this and make it white. And then we grab shrine, steps, all of this. They're all the same color, fortunately. Set that to be black. Our actual grate, I'll go ahead and set that to be white. And I might as well actually set this to be black, just so that our grate pops out a little bit more. So that is going to be our sort of accent normal map for our text. So since the text itself is black, it's going to be sunk in, and the white will help pop out the surface. So that's our normal. Super easy to do, which is nice. Let's go ahead and save that. And then we're going to duplicate normal, call it mask. I'm going to go ahead and disable the visuals on normal. Open this up, get rid of the copies. PG's all fine. Get rid of shrine copy too. Uh-oh. That generally means that I forgot to get rid of... No, it doesn't. Weird. Get rid of great copy. Shrine center. Oh, come on. Cool. Ah, that's where the copies are coming in. I had extra copies somewhere. I didn't think about that. I hate extra copies. I just like to keep everything nice and clean, and I feel like if I have extra, like the word copy on everything, it just makes it feel so terrible, not inadequate. Just feels like it's sort of sloppy that way. So everything else seems fine, fortunately. There's just those areas. Alright, so for our masks, let's see. We are going to need... We're going to need our shrine and our shrine center and our steps are going to be part of the same thing. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and call this... you know what? We don't need that. We'll just keep it all under steps. I'm just going to move this up into here. And I'm going to hit M, grab at the top left, click and drag all the way to the bottom. Now we have a solid black background. Move these guys up ahead of it. Select all of these, and we're going to make them white. Hit OK. Nice. So there's our steps. So these are the textures that are going to go on the actual shrine center and the steps. Wrong thing. So next we have our grate. And our grate is... it's going to need two things. It's going to need the shape and the text. Oh, and the steps are going to need that too, won't they? Fun. So we're going to... Oh, right. It's locked. Second. We're going to hit this. We're going to call this text. Grab this, put it up. Bam. Lock that. Make it go away. And then we're going to have area here. Let's see. We are going to, let's just duplicate background. Drag that up into here. And I'm going to go ahead and select this, make it black. So now the white area up here is our actual area for the steps. So that means that our noise that we put there will be different from everything else, which is good. That's what we want. So we can keep that. That's all fine. Let's disable that, lock that. We're good. Make it invisible. Let's go back to grate. Again, we're going to have... No, okay. Weird. I'm going to have text. And then we will have our actual area above it. Good. Just drag this in here. Again, we're going to duplicate our background. Drag it up here. Put it in front of that. And I can probably simplify this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this top one, because this one can be stretched. Oh, don't want to hold down shift. This one can be stretched up to here with this being placed there, this one being down here, and it can be stretched all the way up to here. So now we have just these two solid shapes instead of three, which is always good. Reduces complexity, makes everything nice. Get rid of the word copy. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate our area. Call this BG. I'm basically just going to flip everything. So these guys are going to become black. This is going to become white. Alright, lock that, make it invisible. Does our... Oh, you know what I can do is actually just get rid of this. Get rid of this. I can actually just set this to stretch across the entire thing because I only need it for the text. So we can get rid of that. Let's turn that off. Let's lock that. Make it invisible. Let's make this visible again. Make that invisible. I want to make sure that everything's working properly. Okay, good. So I did the same thing over here already, which is always good. Our background is fine there. Alright. So let's disable that, lock that, get rid of... Oh no, they're all locked. Okay. Turn that off. Last is our shrine, which is fairly basic, fortunately. So, what do I need to do? I need a text object again. Ugh, freaking locked layers. Call this text. Oh, what are you mad at? Area. We're going to duplicate our background. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. I can just move that into the area. Let's see. Select this, make it white. Select that area. Actually, I lied. Select everything but that area and make it black. So there's our shrine area. It's masked out properly. I can, if I wanted to, get rid of probably this. So let's delete that. Select this, and we will just stretch this down to the bottom again. Bam. So now I only have the two to deal with, which is always good. Hit that. Let's lock it. Make it invisible. Move these guys into here. Now we're just going to select it. Hit M. Grab our intersect point. Hold down Shift so that it squares. And we're going to make that black and make our text above it white. And there we go. So there's our masks. At least if I have all my memorization correct. So, it's fine. Got a lot of exporting to do. Always fun. Let's turn this stuff off. Right. Let's turn you on. Close you. And let's open you up. Turn that on. And there we go. So we don't have any masks for our text anymore. We can just move it right there. We can delete our text entirely. We just have mask for shrine, mask for our gate, mask for our steps. So now that everything's in place, at least it seems like it, I'm going to go ahead and unlock these all, lock that, make sure that no one is individually locked. Everything's okay, turn you off, turn you on. So now I have all my stuff laid out and I'm ready to begin exporting everything. So with that, we can just go ahead and say File. Nope, before I do that, I've already saved, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these two layers. I'm going to save this as Canyon Shrine because it's our base color. Hit save. Alright. Recent files, Canyon Shrine. Do all this stuff, delete our mask and our base color. Turn on our normal map. Save out as an SVG. Then underscore normal. Not normals, normal. Hit save. All right. Recent files, Canyon Shrine. Close these all. Delete them. Yes. Turn on my mask layer. This is gonna be fun. Unlock it. Delete shrine or delete grate and steps. Hit yes. Go into shrine. Delete text. Save this out as an SVG. Underscore mask. And this is shrine area. Save. All right. Load back in. Fun parts. Delete the normal and the base. Make this visible. Delete grate and steps. Turn that on. Delete grate and steps again. Delete the area. Turn you on. Save this out. SVG. Canyon. Oh, crap. Let's see. Canyon Shrine Mask Shrine. Text. Save. I think I've got like 4 more masks to export properly. So delete these guys, and then we'll be able to get into Substance, fortunately. Let's see, delete shrine and steps. Okay. Delete our text object. Save this out. Mask. Grate area. Probably could have just called it grate and then great text, but hindsight. Shrine, grate, get rid of normals. Base. Get rid of shrine and steps. Hit yes. Okay, fine, make everything visible and then hit yes. Unlock everything and hit yes, because sometimes it's just temperamental like that. Turn you on. Delete our area. Hit yes. Make our text visible. Save out. I also apologize, by the way. Mask. Great. Text. I didn't stream yesterday, and I'm a little tired today just because I did the Global Game Jam this past weekend, and that really drains you. I really wanted to sleep all of Monday, and I couldn't because I have a job. And it kills me sometimes. So let's get rid of shrine and grate. All that I have left is our steps. Turn these on. Get rid of text. Save. There's our area. Oh. No, that's correct. Yes. I'm sorry. I was looking at that the wrong way. Illustrator. SVG. Mask. Steps. Area. Hit save. Okay. File. Recent files. Our last mask export, fortunately. Delete normals and base. Yes. Open this up. Get rid of these things. Get rid of shrine and grate. Hit yes. Make shrine steps invisible. Get rid of area. And then that leaves us with text. Let's save that out. Mask. Shrine, steps. Steps. Text. Okay. Whew. All that stuff. Let's go ahead and make a new substance then. Metallic roughness. We're going to do the physically based workflow. I guess shrine entrance is what we're going to want to call it. Shrine entrance. Ah, man, tired. We're going to link vector graphics. Oh, man, got a lot of stuff. All of our masks. Oops, go above it. And then our normal and our base color. So we're going to drag that in. We'll go ahead and drag everything else into. Grab our normal. Of course. Move that up. So these are separate things. We're going to move our color up to here. There's our normal, which is always fun. We connect our color. Hello, Mr. Cryptic. I am doing well. Tired, but well, I'm alive. Um, so then we have to go through and convert everything into a gray map, or not gray map, a grayscale color, because it doesn't make sense to have black and white be in color, since they are grayscale. And we're using these as masks, which are grayscale inputs. So let's use these, click on everything to make it compile. Alright. Alright, saving. Shrine entrance, that's fine. Saved out into Canyon. Let's grab this, let's move them up here. How have you been, Mr. Cryptic? Let's see. So, for this, we can just have a normal. That'd be nice. We're going to go to OpenGL, and I'm just going to plug it in directly for now. But in the future, we're actually going to add some noise. I just want to see it bump a little bit. It looks like it's going just fine. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I'm also going to work. This is something that I started doing recently. While I'm working, I'm going to work in absolutes of 1024 so that I get nice crisp clarity and everything doesn't look blurry to me. Just because working in 256 makes it really, really hard to judge what the final quality is going to be since everything's so low res. So I go absolute size while I'm working, and then once I'm done, I'm going to switch that back to relative to parent, which will default everything down to 256 again. And then I can adjust it inside of Unity. So, some new tips and tricks on the process that I'm trying to get better at in Substance. Also trying to do optimizations a lot more, so I think I briefly talked about it before, but now whenever I generate color maps, for example, or uniform colors, I try to make them be 16 by 16 image maps as opposed to the default size of the parent, because it doesn't make sense to generate a 2K image if that image is just one solid color that never changes. You might as well just generate a 16 by 16 image. So anyway, let's see. So we have all of our stuff. This is where it gets fun. So we need to apply a bunch of noises to these individual parts. So I'm going to go ahead and drag these to the left, drag this up, and drag them with one spacing between them all. This, nice. Drag this out to the left. And I was going to say that no part of this is metal, but our grate is metal, actually. So I can't use a straight up color for our normal map, or for our metal or metallic map. I actually need to use, I should move our grates to be at the bottom. Move this stuff up, select it, a little bit more. Nice. So we're going to go to a blend node. We're going to get our grate, put it in there for our opacity. And then we're just going to make a uniform color, set it to be grayscale, and set that as our foreground. And then, you can see if I change this, it'll show up over here. And that's basically the only part of my entire texture that's metal. So, everything else can be solid black. We're just going to go ahead and go to uniform color again, make it grayscale, plug that in, and then bam. So now our grate is metallic. And we'll adjust this value later, as well as obviously exposing it so that we can adjust it in Unity. But for the time being, it's fine where it is. I'm going to move this down here so that it doesn't get overlap with the rough map, which is going to be massive, and our normal map, which is also going to be massive. So, we have our... Alright, how do I want to do this? Right, that's what I was going to do. I'm going to end up having to do sort of an awkward alpha trick with these guys later on. Just because of the way I need this to be, because right now you can see that it's white here, but we cannot actually do that. So what we want to do is, let's go to a blend node, and oh man, this is going to be so awkward. Right. Oh man. Okay. I think I know what I want to do. We are going to invert grayscale. Hook this up. Put that there. Hook you up here. And we're going to change this from copy to max lighten. Just going to go ahead and dock this. We're going to scoop this back a little bit. We're going to have a blend node. It's going to stretch all the way over here. Put this in our foreground, and then there we go. So now we have some nice alpha where our grate is, because the grate part of grate is the only part that's solid. Everything else is transparent. So that's our color taken care of, basically. No need to do anything really extra there. Everything else is going to be in our normal and our rough maps. So, and do I want to do a height map? I've been doing those more, but I still think that height maps don't really work well with text. So I think sticking with a normal rough workflow will be fine. Anyway, so let's see. I think I'm going to want to find dirt 4. I think that's going to be used for text for our stairs. Let's see. What else? Fractal sumbase. No. Although I will use, I believe it's called moisture. Yep, moisture noise. That's going to be down here on our grate. We're going to move that down here for the time being. Let's see. Black and white spots would probably be fine, I think. I'm going to use 1 or 3. I'm going to use black and white spots 3. So B and W spots 3. This, maybe not. That might be too much. We'll see. Let's add a levels node. So with the levels node, it just gives us more control over the color frequencies that we have. So you can see here that I have my blacks and my whites, and I can basically fade this up. So in this case, it's increasing the contrast, making my whites much more prominent. If I do this, it's going to darken my darks. But actually what I want it to do is let's get rid of some of our darks. Make it a little bit brighter, I think. And, well, it's hard to say. I think I want this to be the shrine. So first off, let me go blend. Put that there. Put you here. So this is our steps. This is the text for our steps. It's going to have that fairly basic dirt material in there. And for the actual background, I don't know. What do I want to do for that? Probably want to do something a little bit more basic. Something like cracks or... excuse me. Didn't get it. Oh, sorry. I thought for a second that you meant my mic had cut off, and I'm like, no, not again. No, I was just saying, I'm doing well. Tired because of a lot of stuff that I'm doing all at once, but aside from that, doing well. How have you been? So, anyway, where was I? Right, noises. You know what? As a general good habit, I'm just going to go ahead and put a levels node in here. And let's brighten it a... Ooh, actually, you know what? No, let's brighten it and add the contrast so we have things breaking up a lot more. So that's going to give us that effect. Then we're going to do a lot of normal blending. This is something that I learned watching the Unity tutorials that they have on YouTube right now, actually. So instead of having just like one node that all of this grayscale material, all of these grayscales feed into, I'll actually have the grayscales feed into individual nodes, or individual normal map nodes, that then I'll blend together into, and then I'll blend those together into a final normal combine, which will be here. And I'll get to that in a second. But for now, I just have the basic one in there. So there's our text for our steps. And the reason we do this is so that we can have greater control over the intensity values. So we can have certain normals being more intense than other ones. Doing great. Just went to PAX South last weekend. Shit ton of networking. You lucky dog. 50 business cards. Ah, man. Ah, lucky dog. Lucky dog. Yeah. I guess that's one of the benefits of living down there. Still, though, it's good to hear that things went well for you at the convention. It's not a conference; it's a convention. Two different things, I suppose. Anyway, where was I? So we have that normal working for us. Let's go ahead and do something basic. Let's see. We have grunge maps. Probably fine with this. I don't need to go crazy. And I try not to use these bitmap grunge maps because they're 2K textures and they're like forced 2K textures. So they really beef up the file size and I don't like that. Moisture noise, that's already going to be used later on. Plasma, oh, Perlin noise might be... No, it's fine. That's something that I wanted to use. And I don't remember what it was. No, it's dirt. It's another dirt thing. Dirt 2. There we go. It's my go-to dirt for basic stuff. Excuse me. Basic stone. So, let's go ahead and have a blend node. It's going to use this. Have this be our color. Can I set that disorder? Not really going to do much. Okay, how do I want to do this then? Oh, I know what I want to do. So since this stuff is all Atlas, I'm going to put in a transformation 2D node. And then I'm just going to go ahead and divide this by 2. And what that does is it tiles it 2 times. So now, if we look at this, we'll actually have better noise in here because it's not just one instance of this noise spread across the entire thing and then half of it's cut out. It's actually tiled multiple times to make it look a little bit better. And once we have that, again, we're going to go ahead and say normal. So there's our normal, very subtle. Probably don't need to separate these two, actually. I'll do it anyway, just so that I can have finer granularity or control over everything. Happy about how it turned out, except for one small thing that happened. Oh dear. You need to learn to hold your liquor at those parties. I kid. Although conventions like that are known for having pretty crazy parties. What happened, I guess? If you're willing to share, of course. So let's go ahead and normal combine. Get these. And I don't know if I want to do a blend. Because I can basically, so we have that. Let's crank up the intensity of this. You can see that it goes up quite a bit. Let's crank that to 1. Let's make our default normals. Make this guy like 0.5. 0.25 even. So just subtle enough that it's breaking up the texture, but it's not actually doing much. So that's nice. I think that comes out a little strong. So if I plug this in, we should get that. And then I can actually put this in. Are all of my things GL, or are they not wanting to mess around? Ah, there we go. So you can see that that text has a lot more fine normal mapping to it. If I wanted to, I can actually decrease, or I could actually increase this so that it's way more pronounced. So I'll end up probably exposing that just so that I can mess with it inside Unity. But for now, I'm going to default it to 1, so it's fine. And that's what our stone steps look like. And actually, you know what? I don't like that on the steps. I want this to be on the shrine proper, I think. So instead of putting this noise over there, I'm going to actually have the noise. Delete this. I'm going to have my noise come up over here. So I'll have the blend node here, plug this in over here. Yeah, there we go. Then we'll have another normal map. So now my graphs, if you notice, they're not going to be as segmented as before, because I'm going to have a lot of crossover between normal maps and rough maps, and I haven't even started on the rough stuff yet. I'll try to keep them as organized as possible because I like having that organization. But because of optimization and everything tends to sort of crisscross and do a bunch of different stuff. So it becomes a little bit harder to keep everything properly organized without just like having massive graphs that you zoom out in. But we'll get around to that later. So let's see. There's our new normal. And we're going to have text, obviously. The text, I think, is going to, again, be similar to the text for our stairs. So we'll go ahead and do a blend node. Use this. Just go ahead and plug this in right there. Same node. Go ahead and put in a normal map. Make sure it's OpenGL. Make sure that this is OpenGL. So comes out pretty fine, I think. Go ahead and go over here. We're going to do a normal combine again. Come over here. Put this up here. And we will do another normal combine. Not a normal. Normal combine. Plug this in here. Plug this in here. So that's what that looks like. Now if I plug that in over there. Nice, we get some good stone being broken up over here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and tile this one more time. Just so that we get a little bit more noise here. But it's coming across pretty nice. Nice. So I need to find a different noise for the stone steps. And I would like them to be a little bit more rough. Not quite as spaced out as that. Let me go ahead and save because it's been a while. Let's see. I was talking to this guy. Oh, fun. Talking to him, and he gave me a pass to the Twitch party that night where all the famous people were, and I was super stoked. I called the place to check, and it was 21 and up. Well, yeah, those parties are almost always drinking parties. So, yeah. People like to drink. People, actually, let me rephrase that. People love to drink at these things. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move this up here. And let's see. Do I want to move this back down here? That actually might work pretty well. Let's plug this in here. Oh, that's not bad. It's more rough. It's not perfect though. We're getting some blown out white spots here. So actually I want to adjust these levels back up so we can so we don't have those flat spots. And instead I can bring this back down, I think. No, that's going to make it too gray. We can have the full gamut. Darken things a little bit. Nah, see, that looks too weird. I want it to be a little bit more flat than that. So we're going to try shrinking this a little bit. As long as we don't go fully flat anywhere, I think I'll be happy. Okay, and this will look better once I have the rough map stuff set up. And, 'cause, Yeah. Oh yeah. Send me links and information on Greenlight stuff. I will do the best I can to support you. And of course, always feel free to post it in the chat. I'll tell everyone, be like, go vote. Uh, all right, still got the moisture noise. Um, let's see here. So that's doing something else. So this is its own little thing. We're gonna have it be like right there. Then we're gonna have another blend node. It's gonna use this, and this is gonna be our noise. And finally, we'll do a blend. I'm sorry, a normal. We'll do a normal blend. Whew, just so many blends. And we're going to go ahead and put this. Oh, not a normal blend, just a normal combine. Normal blend uses a mask, which we don't actually need. We'll do normal combine, plug you in here, plug you in here, plug you in here. So now all of our normals come together into this one massive normal. But everything has a nice effect on it. And of course I need to actually do a couple of things down here. One is we're going to have a levels node, just so I have more control over everything. Plug that in. Then we're going to have a transform 2D, and then I'm going to simply say divide by 2. So that'll help make our grunge a little bit more prominent on this. Nice. Then we're going to adjust our levels a little bit here. Can't really... I don't want it to be too much, so I'm just going to go ahead and slide this, get rid of those darker colors. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and also decrease this. So it's sort of evening things out a little bit. I wonder if I can adjust this pattern size. Probably should make it a little thinner. Let's try 50 by 50. Oh, no, let's not do that then. 100 by 100. What's 150 by 150 look like? Ugh, getting those really nasty like black splotches. So we'll leave that at 100 by 100 then. Because that, it seems like everything's nice and evened out. And we will... Do you mind if I open that link right now? Just because I always want to make sure that I ask people if it's okay to show their work on the stream before I show the work on the stream. Just because I would feel uncomfortable if someone was just like, oh, I'm going to show everyone this without people asking. Okay, so I'm going to open up the link. A very nice website, by the way. It's a lot nicer than mine. That's true, but sometimes you want to keep it sort of not under wraps entirely, but sort of kept down a little bit until you're ready to like explode it out into the world. So, game about 2D side-scrolling platformer that is about a little kid who's afraid of the dark. Play a little kid having nightmares about the dark, fighting your subconscious demons. Oh, good, you have gifts. Is this? Yeah, I think you've shown me this one before. So yeah, we have the nice light ray casting effect. And then the train, right? So yeah. But yeah, let me know when you get more stuff taken care of on Greenlight, and I'll be sure to post links as best I can and do whatever I can help or can do to help. Well, you know what? That's a step in the right direction. Getting it off of Imgur and onto, is it Imgur or Imgur? I don't know. And onto your own website. Still, so that's cool. I'm glad to hear that you guys are moving forward with that more. and that you've made progress. So, let me see. Back to what I was doing. I need to get my rough map set up because my normal maps are all set up now. Let's see. Shorten that. Oh, right. I want to actually make these guys 0.25, so they're much more subtle. And then I want this, probably needs to go, wow, at 0.25 it's that strong? Ugh, what would that be at 1? Oh, wow, that's bad. Let's go to 0.1. Oh, man, even that's really bad. Can I go 0.05? There we go. Just subtle enough. So, go ahead and drag that down. Now we get to do a bunch of fun stuff. And, oh boy. How are we going to do this? So there are a couple of ways I could do this. One, I could have a flat image for my roughness, like I've done in the past, where I just use the masks to make individual colors that I can tweak. But it's... I want to try and use rough maps a little bit better than in the past. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll take another look at this stuff after the stream to get everything set up properly. Oh, cool. Well, I mean, you can use Painter. I can't use Painter. I can barely use Painter. I've tried. It's an alien interface to me. There's so much stuff going on. Which, to be fair, I think the differences between the two are basically Substance Designers are for more technical aspects and handle tiling a lot better, while Painter is more artistic and character or individual model driven usage. Anyway, let's see. So I got this stuff, I want to do my rough maps. Right. So we're going to have a lot of blend nodes, I know that. Blend is going to be fun. So let's see, I might be able to get away with. Go up here. Let's go ahead and, oh man, no. I gotta do some organization real quick. Let's get our color way up here, out of everything's way. Let's go ahead and drag our outputs farther away to the right. So we have some more room to work. Drag you over there. I'm going to drag these guys over to here, since they're all basic. Drag this over here. Drag this to here. And that's probably actually fine for me to do. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So we have things a little bit more spaced out, which is nice, so it's not as cluttered. And that means that I can actually move this forward, move these guys up to here. I probably actually go all the way. Well, we'll go to here. Move these guys back one. And, oh, this is nasty. Let's move this forward. Move this down and over to here. I'm going to go ahead and move that to there. Let's see, what else do I need to do? That's fine here for now. Okay, so I think I've got things spaced out a little bit more evenly. Things aren't as terribly overlapping. Working with hand-painted battle axe and Painter. Nice. I'm not a big fan of the hand-painted look. I don't know why. I think it's because everything looks too like soft, I guess would be the best way for me to put it. Like everything just has this really, really soft color to it, and I feel like that, I don't know, it doesn't feel great to me. Oh yeah, I also got to make sure that all of these are OpenGL. That would be important. All right. So let's see. Got all that. Zoom in a little bit. Take a look. Make sure that everything looks nice. It looks very nice. And now we have the unenviable task of trying to get these things to work properly. So, first things first. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Grab that, put that back. There's that. I'm going to combine these two. Not with that. Put that there. And I'm not going to use copy. I'm going to use add linear dodge. Will that work just fine? It's either going to be add linear dodge or max lighten, which might do the exact same thing in this case. So I'm just going to use add linear dodge then. Save. And now, alright. I don't know if it's witchcraft. I'd say it's more sorcery. It's got that refined technical prowess to it. And I am the lowly sorcerer's apprentice that can't do anything and blows up whenever I try anything. But that's life. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Always good to talk to people, especially people that revisit the stream regularly. So, I will see you later. Good luck painting and getting your game on Greenlight and getting all that process started. So there's our text. Let's see, what else do we need? Let's see. We're going to go ahead and I probably want to do levels for this, actually. Oh, that's right. So I'm going to do levels, and I'm just going to choose to keep these guys on the same levels. Normally I would have different levels for each one, but because they're the same texture, I think it's okay to do it this way. So we're just going to lighten this guy up. Oh, I went the wrong way. I always do that. I'm going to lighten them up, make them really, really rough. Get rid of some of the darkers. Oh, can't do that because it's going to be on that. Right. I got to do this. I got to tweak it this way. I'm going to make things a little bit harsher. Not crazy about that. Hello, Domdag. How's my game coming along? Do I believe the Division will be Game of the Year? No, I don't. Well, I guess it's 2016, so it's hard to... That's true. It's 2016 now, so it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know what else is coming out this year, really. Besides Star Fox, and then everything else is a bunch of in-the-wind rumors. So I have no idea. I will show you some... I'll show you some of the new levels, well, not the new levels, but I'll show you some of the new textures that I've been working on in a second. I want to finish up this substance real quick, because my substance process has sprawled into much more effective use of Substance Designer, I think. I really, really got into it for the Game Jam this past weekend. Like, I got into actual textures that weren't text, which was really nice, because it made working in Substance Designer a lot nicer and easier to actually picture everything properly. But for the time being, since we're in TextQuest again, I got to go back to this. So we're going to go ahead and grab our... I'm going to add a levels node. Plug this in down here. Move this up. I'm probably not going to have to do much with this, honestly. Blend this over. And just go ahead and add that there. And again, I think we can say add linear dodge. Ooh, no. Ah, right, because this needs to go over here. There we go. So now we have all of our text, and now we need to get our backgrounds going. Backgrounds are going to be fun. Let's see. Let's move this guy over here. And we're going to go ahead and move them there. And next, let's see. You know what? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and have a levels node. I'm going to go over here. And then we'll have a blend node, which did not want that to go there, but it's fine. That's actually going to go there. This is going to go on our background. And crap baskets. Right. Dang it. So I'm going to have to go a little bit further back before I can start merging things up. Otherwise, I end up having to do massive... you know what? Screw it. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make a new folder. Call it utils. Make a new graph. Call it text mask. Hit OK. Get rid of these outputs, and all this is going to be is my Canyon texts. Drag these out, position them properly, set them to be grayscale. We're just going to have blend. Grab that, blend. Grab this. That. Change this to add linear dodge. Change this to add linear dodge so we get everything. And then we're just going to have an output. Hook that up. Just going to call it mask. No user data or anything like that. It's fine. Make sure that when I do this, I set this output computation to no. Otherwise, it would show up in the editor. Hello, Quantum Thinker. How have you been? Let's see. Let's go back to Shrine Entrance. So now that I'm over here, I can go ahead and drag in text mask. So it's basically going to serve as a quick mask for this. So now it's going to overlay all of that stuff, which is always fun. And actually, you know what? Before we do that even, God, I'm just going to move these nodes back even further. I just, for some reason, I like to keep all my output nodes on the same level, basically. So actually, before we do this, let's go ahead and grab, let's see, another levels node. I'm going to drag this down, put it there. I'm going to put this one right there, drag this out over here, and plug that in there, and then plug this in. There's our backgrounds. And now we are going to have another blend node. That's going to be that. Actually, it's going to be in reverse. It's going to be that, and then that, and that. There we go. All of our roughness hooked up. And with that, bam! There is our roughness map. So it's not like what we were doing before, because in the past we would have these like perfectly, oh god, my shrine needs to be really, whoa, and that's why we have the levels node. So let's see, we're gonna want to drag this down. Let's get a lot of those blacks out of there, or dark colors. Sounded like Sonic for a second there. Let's see, get rid of this. Let's up this contrast. Maybe lower it a bit and maybe make things brighter even. I can't go any brighter. So we're going to shrink this down a little bit more. Brighten our contrast. So that's our new smooth. I feel like my... It's still kind of, you know what, it's not bad. It's semi-smooth and then rough in other places, which is good. Which is more than I can say about my shrine colors here. So I want to actually take this, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of a lot of those darker colors. I'm going to go back here just going to tweak this ever more, ever more, ever more, until it's basically perfectly flat. Flatten that a little bit more. Just up it. It's almost full white, basically. I have been doing well. Tired because I have 3 full-time things that I always have to be doing. But aside from that, still kind of recovering from the Global Game Jam this past weekend, which is why I didn't stream yesterday, because I'm like, I'm dead inside. I can't really do anything. So let's see. I want to adjust the back levels here now. So again, I'm going to keep my last node focused, then I'm going to click on this so that I can make adjustments and see their final form. We're going to drag this so that it's a lot wider, makes everything a lot more flat, but it still has some shininess to it, so it's not perfectly smooth, or it's not perfectly rough, which is fine. I could probably tune it up, though, to the point where it basically is. Let me see if I can up the contrast a little bit. So it breaks up the light a little bit nicer. And it's not perfectly flat, which is good. And there is our... Oh, wow. That really gets rid of the shrine stuff. Like the text is just lost in there. It's practically the same. That's interesting. Well, that's fine. And this is a little bit shiny, but I think it's okay overall. Were you an entrant? And I mean, I signed on to it and I made a game. I don't remember if they have like awards or anything like that. I thought they did something where they would like say like, oh, we really like this game. But yeah, I took part in the Global Game Jam. Okay, so our grunge map is pretty... It's a little rough. Might be a little too rough. I might darken this actually so that our grate is not as... What the heck? Come on, work with me here. Because you're gray. Yeah, let's just darken it a little bit. Yeah, there's not much to work with on the grate, which is unfortunate. Because it's all just fairly... Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. So that darkens it up a bit. But then it's... What? How is that even possible? Oh, it's because I did an add linear dodge. Ah! See, that's no good. That's the problem. Okay. If that's the case, we're just going to go ahead and do this. And say copy. And then I got to reverse these. Okay, there we go. So now the grate actually will reflect its changes properly. So now I can adjust these a little bit more. So that way they're a little bit less rough because they're supposed to be metal. Let's see, let's move this up a little bit more. Flatten it a little bit, but it's still not. I want it to be a little bit smoother than basically everything else. Yeah, I thought that there was something that they did, but it might just be a more local thing, like at your local game development center or wherever your local game jam was centered at. Maybe they just do them there. But it was an interesting experience. Unlike last year, I actually had goals. Like it was like basically, okay, for this game jam, my goal was to texture everything with substance in this game jam, and I did. I textured absolutely everything with substance. I modeled everything that I could, and I textured everything that I modeled with substance stuff. which was super fun. Got a lot of nice procedural effects going with it, and it ended up looking just really, really nice. So, this is our final texture. It's not perfectly smooth, it's not perfectly rough, and everything just looks so much nicer on it. Cool. So now I'm going to export this into Unity. After I do some tweaks and expose things. So we're going to expose this. This is our metallic. Actually, let me double check that. Yep, that's our metallic. So we're going to have expose, output color, new, metallic. Hit OK. Now we're going to expose, new. And this is going to be great metallic. Hit OK. Let's see. Should I expose these normals? I kind of don't want to. I think they're kind of fine where they are. I'm not going to worry about it. Is there anything else that I need to do then, really? I don't think that there is. So, really, metallic is the only thing that I have to mess around with this. Well, I think that's fine. Let me see if I can just increase that roughness just a little bit. Just a little bit. I want to make it just a little bit less. It's weird. Like, it's weird that I can't make this. Oh, I guess I can. There we go. That's a little bit. That's much nicer. Because I'm not getting, like, sort of puddle shine. Everything's actually coming off pretty even. Alright, so I think that's good then. And I don't think there's anything really else that I can do. So this is the new substance formats that I'm going to be using. Like a lot of connected nodes. And a lot of interconnection between normal and rough. To make things a little bit more chaotic. Our metallic map is still fine, which is nice. Our rough map is now going to be based on a lot of our normal map stuff with different levels adjusted to it. Normal maps are still going to be continued from what we did before, but with more control over individual normals. And of course, color maps will be whatever we need them to be because they're color maps. So they're really easy to do. Or albedo, I suppose is what I should say. Or base color. Yeah, same thing. Not same thing, actually, but similar. Let's see, what do I need to do now? So let's go to our shrine entrance. Set our label to be shrine entrance. ChristopherIngerson.com. Alright, we're just going to call this metallic. And set that to be a slider. Clamp it. And then great metallic. Slider. Set to clamp. We're going to put that at 0.9. Alright. So, now that we have this, I'm going to go ahead and export this. Shrine entrance, hit save. Oh, I forgot. Change this from relative to parent. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this. Oops, crap. Set this to be absolute, make it 16 by 16. Same with this. Absolute, 16 by 16, and that's because of performance reasons. And when I do that, I need to make sure that I change my resolution here, my output size, from relative to input to relative to parent. So now you can see that, oh, dang it, I probably actually, no, my metallic should be driven by this, shouldn't it? Dang it. Well, crap baskets. Let's darken this just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit more. You can see it making it shinier. Dang it. That sucks. We'll keep it solid color for now. Dang it. Because really what I should do is I should be using this grayscale value to drive that color, but I think it's fine as is. So let's save out. Let's re-export, because I had the wrong resolutions. Everything would have been forced to 1K. So let's go ahead, open up Canyon, and Shrine Entrance. Pull that over. Let's open up Unity. This is going to be fun. This is going to be really, I'm curious to see what happens. Alright, so Inspector, Text Quest, Substance, Overworld, Canyon, Shrine Entrance. I called it Cave Shrine, I was close. Bam. I need to do some re-UVing on these things. Pretty bad. But for the time being, let's go ahead and bump this up to 1024 by 1024. Not 2K. And that helps some of it. Still getting some blur here, but... oh, and then opaque needs to be turned into cutout. Which, interesting, seems to have some sort of effect on the UVs. That's always worrying. Let's set our alpha cutoff to be 0.75. Did you, I forgot to ask you, Quantum, did you take place in the Global Game Jam? As I go around trying to fit all of this stuff in. Ooh, that came out pretty well. Nice, 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 nice. Although it's weird because I'm getting like a... Yeah, I'm getting that pixel corruption. Ah, dang it, I don't like it when it does that. We'll go into 2K, fix that. Not really, it's still there. It might just be a UV thing. Let's go to 1K. You can see that pixel corruption along the edges. It's not pixel perfect. It's like an off color near the edging. Anyway, let's see. If I'm correct. Oh dear. Shrine Stairs. It's going to be Shrine Entrance again. Really? That doesn't seem right. No way. Oh, that's because it's something else. Okay. Oh. That's... Really? Huh. Okay, so these actually should use Shrine Stairs, I suppose, still. Huh. Well, then why do I have... In my texture, I have a step and ascending. If we look at it in Substance, I have a step, ascending, and descending section. Oh, that's probably for the... Okay, I know why. Those aren't for the individual steps. Those are for this top center steps. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Oh, dear. That was just... poorly designed on my part. So we should say, yep, Cave Shrine. Ah, that's poor design on my part. So put these to Shrine Entrance and boom. Wait, really? It doesn't seem to change much. Oh, I know why. It's because, yep, these aren't static. Because they can't be. They animate. Oh, so I have to use light probes. Oh, light probes. My mortal enemy. We meet again. Oh dear. That's going to be fun. But I'm willing to experiment with that because I also did that in the Game Jam. In the meantime, I'm going to check out our individual areas here. Not bad. I think the grate, having a second grate, actually makes it work pretty well. Because it's not just one word grate that's underneath the water now, like it was before. Let's see. What about the top here? It's a little rough. I think it's because of the UV layouts, honestly, more than the texture itself. It does look a little low res, though. Oh, no. I gotta redo these UVs basically. It's not gonna work because you can see that these are scaled just completely differently. You're getting a completely different resolution on the corners. I bet it's because they're scaled up a lot or scaled down. It looks like they're scaled down a lot. Dang it. That figures. Yeah, render time takes long enough as it is. I don't need to do anything completely complex with my lighting. Although, yeah, if I want to get the lighting looking correct on these, I'm going to have to use light probes, which sucks because light probes are terrible, terrible things. They don't work half the time. But let's see. So for the time being, I'm not going to bother re-UVing this, but the texture itself seems solid. But I do need to come up with a better way of UVing this just because you can see everything's really distorted because of the UVs that I tried to make work. So I might just have to redo my approach to this because I like the design on the basic level. You know, it's that circular sort of approach, and the shrine center steps are well done. Excuse me. Are well done, but the shrine itself is a little rough. It just doesn't feel very polished texture-wise, and that's because, you know, back when it was being textured originally, it was a different art pipeline, so that makes sense, I suppose. Well, anyway. So let's go ahead, and I only have like 3 textures left in this particular level. And that's going to be these guys, the torches, the waterfall, and the ocean. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and go back to Illustrator. Let's close all of these Canyon Shrine images. Make a new image, call it torch. Hit OK. Call it torch. Base. BG. Text and divides. I was hoping that writing libraries for some of my critical code would have speed benefit, but it's negligible. Yeah, the libraries... Usually you have to have a massive code base before you start noticing any real benefit from libraries, at least from my understanding of them. So oftentimes it's just not really worth it. It does help compile times. Since libraries aren't recompiled every time you make edits. So it should help with that at least. But again, you need a fairly large library first before you can really notice that slowdown. Let's see, where was I? Textures. So let's go ahead back here. Overworld. Go back to our old stuff, Canyon. And I could do it to my stairs. Because of the light probes. Actually, I guess I have more stuff than I thought. I need to get the ocean, the waterfall, stairs, and the riverbed. That means that torch is somewhere else. It's right here. And that's how old it is. It has Mac files. Let's just drag that in here. Okay. Oh, what just happened? I'll accept that it's more modular so I can optimize to replace your libraries. That's true, I suppose. And certainly it makes getting your code around a lot easier because you don't have to share like a massive folder of your files. It's just one file. That's the reason that I wanted to do it in the past, and I just never did. Oh man, I should look into atlasing for this. I could probably get away with it too. But I don't know what I would atlas it with, honestly. Excuse me. Alright. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's lock that file. Go to our background. Hit I to select it. Hit M. Anchor to anchor. Make that invisible. Alright. Text is going to be Commodore 64, 72 pixels. Actually, probably going to bump that up to 240. Okay, 240 was too much. Although, not as much as you'd think. Torch. Alright. Vertical, let's go to 70. Let's make this 180. And 120. Nope. 180 it is. Is 180 the actual size? No, it's not. Interesting. Let's try 210. Huh, interesting. I did a really awkward size for the torch. Well, vertical spacing, I can do 190. And that's sort of correct. Not very. Let's space this at 200. Or 190 again, and then I'll space the H at 200. Alright. That seems to match up pretty well. Let's grab those colors, and then bam! There's the torch. Let's go to pit. Select that. Negative 100. Pit. Let's drop this back down to 180. Oh my god, what file size was I working in? This is terrible. I'll leave it as is. That's... Oh, and also they're sharp. I need to change that on both of these. Make sure that they're not using any anti-aliasing. Let's go back to pit. Select our color. Hit OK. And then our last one is color. Select our color. Rotate it. And then we're going to move it up to here. Like a madman, I did stupid stuff with this, apparently. Negative 75. Negative 75 is about right, it seems. It's just, man, what file size did I use? Like, what point size? They don't seem to match up very well. Well, anyway. And now I just need to do our divides. Like that, make it invisible. Ha! Man. I am tired. Let's grab this. It's going to be fun. 32. I guess 350. Meh. Select that. Duplicate it. Let's move this down. Select that. Duplicate it. Select this. Move it down. And then last one. Select that. Duplicate it. And then bam. Ha-ha! Alright. So that's our texture. Fortunately, it was an easy one. Let's turn everything on. And then let's disable this. Really? Okay, fine, sure, why not? So let's delete our linked file. We'll lock our base, we'll hit save, and then we will duplicate base. Call this normal. Turn off base, disable that. Get rid of the copies. Alright, so our torch. I've never really given much thought as to what material it was made of. I think I was thinking of something vaguely metallic, like Ocarina of Times. Or, actually, I might look that up and see what it was. So during the game jam, did I stay awake coding for most of it, or did I catch some sleep? I stayed awake for most of it. I think I got 6 hours of sleep the entire weekend. And so that's from Friday through Sunday. About 6 hours total. Ugh. And I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. And I'm going to say Ocarina of Time. Not lanterns. Torch. Torches in Zora's Domain is apparently a thing. So this is what I was thinking of. It looks like it's wood. Oh, that's a retexture project. But it does look like it's wood. Okay, so I might do a retexture and make it wood based. Okay, I'm up for that. And actually, for the game jam, I didn't do any programming. I worked with another guy that I know, and he did all the programming. We did a VR Tango game. So I handled all of the art for that because he wanted to do a VR project. I wanted to do substance texturing for it. We both were like, "Yep, that's fine. We'll be able to do everything." So it was like 2 solid days of art and texturing, modeling and texturing for me, with minor forays into talking with him over any programming problems he was having. But for the most part, I didn't have to do any real programming besides talking conceptually about how to do things. So yeah, that turned out pretty well, actually. Not that. Let me find a freaking. This is a tiny image, but I guess it's fine. Oh, you gotta head out? Alright. I will... Well, thanks for stopping by. Stream's probably gonna wrap in a little bit anyway, once I get this torch texture done. Remind me if you come back on later on in the week. I guess... Did you... I don't remember if I asked you if you did the game jam. I was gonna try and see what everyone did. If anyone participated. And then show off what I did, except mine's a VR thing, so it's kind of hard to show on the computer because we don't have a good single player thing. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, Quantum Thinker. Always good to see you. So let's go back to Illustrator. We got this stuff. Right. That's kind of rough. Let's go to this. Let me see how everything looks. So the collar. Okay, so that's not good. It's not. That might be okay, actually. That actually might make a lot of sense. That would be a good way to differentiate things. Okay, that works actually. I will keep that. So let's go back here, and how do we want to do this? I think we're going to have a lot of mask. So this is going to be a mask thing. So we're not going to have a base color, really. Go figure. Great. So for our normal map, we are going to do white on top. Our text and our divides will be black. Of course, they're different colors, so it won't let me do that. It's going to be black. Divides will be black as well. Hit OK. Do I have any extras? Nope. Good. Hit save. And basically, that one normal mask, or this normal map might be all I need for this texture, because everything else is probably going to be procedurally generated inside of Substance. Hooray! Okay, with that, I'm just going to save it, and then I'm going to delete my base and export this mask. Oh, freak. I hit save by accident, not save as. So save as, torch, mask, SVG. All right. Let's see. Go to Substance. We're going to make a new substance, call it torch. Physically based, everything is all fine. Cool. We're going to go ahead and set this to be absolute to start off at 1K. Then we will link vector graphics, and we want torch mask. Okay. Drag this in. Set it to be a grayscale image. Torch.sbs. It's all fine. I probably... nope, that's not actually good enough. The collar should be metal, shouldn't it? Yeah, the collar should be metal. So I jumped the gun. Let's do new or open recent torch.ai. Let's just go ahead and duplicate normal. Make that invisible. Lock this. Make it visible. Get rid of the copies. And now, okay. So my masks, I don't really need, I'm trying to think, how do I want to handle this? I don't think I need text. I think I can get away with not having text in my mask. So instead, I'm going to have just a background color and get rid of this. It's just going to be solid white. And let me put this like, I guess here, roughly. This is going to be kind of rough, but let's select this, make it black. And then I think I can just get rid of my text, honestly. Because I only need the area, basically. I don't even need my divides anymore. Call it metal mask. That, lock it, make it invisible. Save our layers again. So I'm going to delete the mask in the base, save this out, make this visible, shift save. Ah, man. No, that's wrong too. Recent fires. Torch. Oh dear. Okay. So that means that I actually need to do this for my normal. Set my background. Of course it's locked. Grab this. 50%. And then my collar is going to be white. There we go. Oh man. You know what? Yeah, I gotta change the mask too. So let's turn this up. Let's grab this guy. And I am going to hit V. Just gonna stretch him. It's hard for me to say. Okay, I'm way past the point. Hold on, let me manually do this, I guess. I was 350. It should be something like that, basically. So I turn that off. Oh no, that's like way further to the right than I needed it to be. Let me disable that. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let me lock that, make that invisible. And we're going to change our pit to also be white. So our pit's going to be part of the metal, so it needs to be white so that it bumps up instead of being chiseled in, like it is with wood. Man, a lot of stuff. So we're going to save that, delete our masks and our base, make this visible, save this as an SVG, torch underscore normal. Hit save. Okay. File, operation files, torch AI. Get rid of normal and base. Okay. Open this up. Save this out as torch mask. Hit save. Yes, I know it already exists. Hit OK. Now we can go back here and we can link another vector graphic, which is going to be our torch normal. Torch normal is going to be our grayscale. Drag that over here. Alright. So now we have these two things. With our normal, we're just going to go ahead and plug in a normal map. Make sure that it's set to OpenGL. And then, boom. We're going to have a normal combine at the end here. There. Move that to there. Move you here. You and move you. So now we have our metallic mask here, and we're going to need to do a couple of things to actually make it more interesting. So first up, we're going to be doing blends for our noises, and then we're going to have wood fibers. We're going to go ahead and do wood fibers 1, I think. Looking at the Ocarina of Time one, which was the inspiration for this. Looks like it's sort of alternating a bit. It's hard to say. Oh, that's a much nicer, higher res one. Let's see. And they also have metallic lines. Maybe I don't want to go quite that. Let me think. Well, let me check here. Let's go to you. Let's put you in as the mask. Put you in there. And actually, we're going to do transformation 2D. We will tile you twice. So there's our new one. So that's going to be the wood area. Let's see, we're going to have another blend down here. Not from there, though. That is going to be for our metallic values. So we're going to have uniform color. Make it grayscale. Copy and paste that. Plug you in there. Plug you in there. Let's see. Go ahead and make you full white there. And as always, absolute 16 by 16. Absolute 16 by 16. Change this to not be set by input, but relative to parent. There we go. And there's our metallic values, basically. It's super weird not having any other detail besides metallic and non-metallic. Huh. Let's see. So for our actual metallic rough, let's see, what would be good? What would charred? Map 8 looks promising. Phew. Super expensive. Let's see, balance. Let's adjust that a little bit. Yeah, let's adjust it the other way around. Contrast, set up a little bit. Let's say it would be 0.5. That's a little much. Let's darken our contrast to basically 0. That's not bad. Let's put in another blend node. Get that. Put that there. Again, I'm going to go ahead and transform 2D tile it, so that things look a little bit nicer and more varied here. Save that out. Let's just go ahead and click and drag and move all these things over a little bit. Okay. So now, there's our mask. say we got a couple of things that need to happen. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and move this up. Let's put you over here. It's all fine and dandy. Let's get our normal map going. Make sure it's OpenGL. Make sure both of these are OpenGL. Good. Plug that in, and bam. Oh, right, it's not normal information yet. And let's put that in there. All right, so that was actually what I was expecting. So I can't do that full on yet. Let's actually delete this. Delete this. Normal. Make sure this is set to be that. Set that there. Set that there. Put you here. Put you here. Normal. Combine. You there. You here. Bam. 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 All right. And the reason we did that is so that we have more control over this. So I want to clearly, I guess, either make this more intense, which is actually not doing anything. It's barely doing anything at all. Or I want to lessen this effect. So we're going to do like 0.25, I think. So we still get plenty of effects on the surface, but they're not nearly as like in your face. And color will probably help with that, I think, but still. Let's see. For this, oh, no, that's correct. It's black, but why does it look like it's being propped up? OpenGL, OpenGL. It's all OpenGL. Interesting. Maybe it doesn't. That's just the shape of it, I think, messing up. Alright, that's fine. But we will go ahead and lessen the wood as well. Let's make it like 0.5. Again, so it's not as noticeable. Alright. Now for our roughness. And actually, no, now for our color. Which I very stupidly did not make a mask for my text. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Well, let's fix that real quick. File, recent files, Torch AI. I should have known better than to get rid of my text. Duplicate text, move it up to here. Of course, it's locked. Move it up to here. Lock you. Make you guys invisible. Open up. Call this text. Let's see. Metal and wood. Oh, crap. Wood. Put torch in the wood, and the collar in the pit in metal. Beneath that, I'm going to get rid of the stroke, get rid of the metal, have this set to be black. Drag this out. Cool. Put wood and metal above it. Make sure that metal and wood are both set to be white. And then we will disable wood. Alright, lock that down. Save that out. Delete our normal in our base. Hit yes. Turn on our masks. Get rid of metal. Yes. And get rid of wood. Yes. Save this out. Mask. metal text. Save. Okay. File, recent files, torch.ai. Close normal and base. Hit yes. Turn this on. Unlock it. Get rid of metal. Hit yes. Save out the wood. Get rid of this. And then say SVG. Mask. Wood. Text. Hit SVG. Hit OK. Let's go back. And again, import our link vector graphics. Torch, mask, metal, wood. Open. Let's drag these in. Grayscale. Grayscale. Drag this. Drag this in. All right. Let's see now. How do I want to handle this? Color. Right. That's what I was going to be doing. Color. My divides should probably be a similar color, but that's fine. That was my fault. All right, let's see what we got here. So, we're going to have blend node. There. Uniform color, which is going to be here. And then we will have another uniform color right over here. So we're going to make this red, make this like blue. This is just so that we can get a nice overlay. We're going to do blend, get both of these guys. Change this to max lighten. Then we're going to do another blend. Set this up. Have again 2 more uniform colors. Color. That. Make you green. Make you purple. It's going to hurt our eyes when we finally see this. I have one more blend node that's going to be between these 2 areas. Here and here. I got that backwards, don't I? You want to go there, and you want to go there. Oh, no, that's correct. Nope, it was backwards. I was right. Aha. You go there, you go here. And then the last thing we want is a, let's see, blend. It's not going to be that though. With a gradient map coming from our noise here. Plugging into here. Hitting this. And then do an overlay. Or, I'm sorry, multiply. Alright, so let's make these a little bit more realistic. Let's go to pick. I'm sorry, not pick. That's not a good one. Click. Adjust this to be a little bit browner. Pick that. For our background color, go a little bit more brown again. Go darker. Let's see. So there's our color. I'm going to go ahead and hook this up here. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to make this lighter then. Oh, wow, I have to go really friggin' bright for that. Not crazy about that. But anyway. Let's see. Our background here is going to probably be a blue, a pale, sort of lighter, darker, more gray version of blue. Let's get closer to black. With our text a little bit more of a cyan sort of affair. Moving up. Again, always leaning a little bit blue. Alright. And there is our image. We still need a rough map, don't we? Yep. Oh man. Our text didn't show up very well. That's fine. Let's see here. So we're going to do 2 level. Oh crap. I hate it when I do that. Drag that in there again. I'm going to do 2 levels. Just copy and paste that. We're going to blend this back in. Let's see. Go there. Go here. And then we will have them merge together in a Max Lighten case. That will be our rough map. You can see the normals are just like on nothing, so I need to have more either metal there, which would probably be fine, or I need to make that a darker wood color or something. I don't know. We'll see what the base looks like in Unity first. So for the time being, we're going to adjust these levels, make it a little bit on the metal side, a little bit lighter, but not fully light, because I'm kind of picturing like a charred sort of metal. So at one point it might have been shiny, and now it's just kind of charred and flaky. So let's just dip this a little bit more, so it's leaning on the rougher side. That looks good. And likewise with our wood, we're going to go ahead and just, immediately brighten things up, going even further into contrast territory. So it's basically just, again, not perfectly smooth, or not perfectly rough and not perfectly smooth, but you get a much better sense of it. So I'm going to go ahead and roughen up just a little bit more. Shrink this down maybe. Which actually doesn't seem to do anything besides making some hard whites harder. Alright. That's where all of this ends up. All that effort. So, we got a couple of things that we need to expose. First is expose. New metallic. Okay, I misspelled metallic. Expose this. New crap. What's it called? Ah, dang it. Of course. Give me a second, I'll find it. Color. Color, metallic. Okay. I think these are in pretty good spots. All right. Let's expose these guys. Color. Okay. Expose. New. Accent. Color. Okay. Expose. New. Let's see. Metal. Color. Expose. Color. Metal. Accent. Color. Okay. And that should be everything that I really need. So let's go to torch. Let's fill everything in. Torch is our label. Author is, of course, me. Ingerson.com is my URL. And we get all this stuff. Name metallic to have two L's. Because I spell good. Call it metallic. Or actually call it base metallic. Oh my god, what is up with me? I spelled metallic dozens of times and I just can't get it tonight. Clamp it between 0 and 1. Color, metallic, slider, true. To clamp, base color, RGBA is fine. Accent color, let's see. Alright. Metal color. Metal accent. Not exempt. Oh my god, I can't hit the N. Color. There we go. Save that out. Everything seems to be working pretty well. Before I forget, remember to set this back to relative to parent. And also, I actually need to optimize these guys. So we're going to say absolute 16 by 16 and change this from relative to input to relative to parent. Again, absolute 16 by 16 because these are uniform colors. They're not going to change. So same thing here. Absolute 16 by 16. Absolute 16 by 16. And set this to use relative to parent. So it should be, yep, same thing that I'm doing down here basically. So that's just more optimization to help get things along. We're going to go ahead and save it out as torch.spsar. I'm going to drag that in. Put it up. And we're going to see what happens. Oh boy. All right, it's really metallic. Let's change color metallic down to like 0.1 or 0.25. It's not bad. I'm not crazy about it. I kind of like the old stylized ones a little bit more, and I think part of it is the strips are gone temporarily because of the way I did normals. I will have to, excuse me, I'm going to have to experiment with this a little bit more. Because I like, working in these different noises. I think that really adds a lot to it. Does it have a height map? Looks like it has a height map. You can see the texture moving. That can't be right, though. I didn't give it one. Huh! Interesting. But yeah, when you're looking, you can see it. And now you can't. Okay. Yeah, just crazy. Well, anyway, so we know at least what it looks like. And obviously we need some visual edits to get the rungs in there. And once we do get that in there, I think we'll be fine. I like the pit. I think that turned out well. The pit and the collar, I think, are really well done. But the actual wooden base is kind of lacking. I might want to try and make it more stony or something like that. I don't know. So I'll experiment with that. But I think for today, that's going to be a good place to end because it's been a 2.5 hour stream and I am tired. Been working all day. We didn't get to freaking skyboxes. Dang it, I got bogged down with textures. I'm sorry if anyone tuned in wanting to see skyboxes. I didn't get around to it in the stream. We might push it on until later this week, or maybe next week. But anyway, for now, that's going to do it for me. We'll be back Thursday to do programming, as well as some other miscellaneous stuff. But until then, as always, Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.